Hello boys and girls, my name is Tara or Tarrabyte. If you've never seen my content before, too long didn't read, I try to make things about furries and I try to make things about gaming and all that kind of stuff. So if you've never seen my channel, please by all means go click on me and see what all I do. Now, today is about the state of Oklahoma trying to pass this stupid freaking bill that is the dumbest thing you're ever going to read. And it's one of those things where you're like, oh, you're a furry, what defines a furry, what is a furry? And I'm going to try to go into a lot of different stuff as you see up at the top. You're probably going, oh my god, why is there so much? Trust me, I'm going to try to make it short, sweet, and to the point as much as humanly possible. Everything is going to be anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes of a segment, and I'm going to try to squeeze in as much as possible, and I'm going to talk really fast to try to get everything done so you understand. I have read this bill like 5 times. Let's go ahead and get started. State of Oklahoma, second session of the 59th Legislature 2024, House Bill 3084 by Humphrey. As introduced, an act relating to schools prohibiting, is it bidding? I don't know. Certain students from participating in school curriculum or activities, requiring the student's parent or guardian to pick up the student up from school, providing for removal of the student by animal control services, providing for codification, and providing an effective date. Be it enacted by the people of the state of Oklahoma. Section 1, new law. A new section of law to be codified in Oklahoma statutes as Section 11-301 of Title 70 unless there is created a duplication in numbering, reads as follows. Students who purport to be an imaginary animal or animal species who engage in anthropomorphic behavior commonly referred to as furries at school shall not be allowed to participate in school curriculum or activities. The parent or guardian of a student in violation of this section shall pick the student up from the school, or animal control service shall be contacted to remove the student. Section 2. This act shall become effective November 1st, 2024. So let me explain why this is completely stupid, the dumbest thing I've ever read. We need to talk about what is anthropomorphic behavior. What does that mean? If you Google anthropomorphic, it'll come up with this. Having human characteristics, anthropomorphic bear and monkeys. And if you look up anthropomorphic, you hit the images, it comes up with this. It comes up with pretty much anything that looks and acts like any type of that has human animalistic behaviors. You have seen them all your life. If you've watched cartoons all your life, then you know exactly what they look like. If you've seen Zootopia, here you go. You know exactly what an animalistic characterized character looks like. They have like I can't remember his name all of a sudden. I forgot his name. Judy and I can't remember his name. Why can I not remember his name all of a sudden? My brain just went nope. But you got Judy, as you see, as you're looking at him, you're going, okay, I see what you mean. If you're even older, then you've probably seen, here you go, Robin Hood, right? Maid Marian. One of my best friends, one of my great buddies out there, he has a Maid Marian style fursuit. He's a furry. He's a fantastic artist. And he has made his own stuff before, and he draws all the time. He's even said that when I start making fursuits, he wouldn't mind ordering a fursuit from me, and I'll tell him I will do it ASAP. Throughout the years, different depictions from the 1800s even up till now, probably even further, where artists have probably made furry style artists and stuff. Animation style. You probably are asking what is the difference between anthropomorphic and a dog that talks. Yes, there is a difference. Hey, I actually have that book. My stepmom found that book one day and she gave it to me as a Christmas present. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I love it. Whatever. I'm not ever going to use it, but I have it. I'm not an artist. I don't care to draw. It's not my thing. If anything, I sketch, I'll sketch down tails and ears and stuff, and that's pretty much it. So I can be like, yeah, this is how the ears need to go, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know how I feel about this, but let's get on with it. So again, as it says, this right here, and if you do versus furry, it'll actually tell you. So anthropomorphic describes a character being that is a shape-changed human, somewhere along the human something else scale. Okay, I like your answer. Furry is a more generalized term that was coined to describe a person that is interested in anthropomorphic entities, artwork, and stories. You do need to ask yourself, are you a furry? And to describe yourself as a furry, you can just say you're a furry. That's literally all it is, because a lot of people, they don't know if they're a furry, if they think that needs a special permission or something like that. No. To be a furry, all it literally is, do you like anthropomorphic art, and do you like it enough to where you want to talk about it, you have games, you have media, you have all this stuff. Now, you can be a cartoon enthusiast, like you like WB and Disney, but you're not a furry, and that's okay. I even pointed out to my mom, like, you're sort of a furry to an extent, because you do enjoy the art, you like the art style, you like the media, you like this, and this. You're just not an extremist. There are different levels. It's like when I was a brony about 10 years ago. People would ask me, do I like My Little Pony? I said, yeah, I like My Little Pony. I think it's a fantastic cartoon. It's cute. It's adorable. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, what a lot of it comes down to is, what do you define yourself as? And that's completely okay. An anthropomorphic character doesn't necessarily have to mean anything bad, anything good. It's just, that's what it is. So you're looking at that and you're like, I'm still confused. So in the next section of this, I'm going to try to explain as much as I can as soon as possible. Actually, no. I've got 3 minutes. Let's see if I can do it all in 3 minutes. So, you've got 3 problems with this section. There will be kids who will be kicked out of class because they act like a furry, and there'll be bullies that'll go, well, Steve's a furry, and the teacher's gonna be like, is that true? Yes, Miss Robinson. He's gonna get kicked out of class, go to the principal's office, and you're gonna see a slew of kids all along the wall, you know, like, what are you here for? Furry. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And I bet you at least 5 of those kids are going to know each other. And they're either going to get sent home, or they're going to get picked up by, of course, like they said, animal control. The parents are going to say, no, I'm at work right now. I can't pick my kid up. And they said, well, we'll call animal control. They say, you do that. Animal control will be called. Animal control will laugh at them and go, we have real problems to worry about. We'll come check this out in about 2 hours. And they will have a slew of kids sitting in some classroom, not being taught anything. And the teachers are going to be fearing, if they let them go to the bathroom, they're going to go piss on the wall or go piss on a tree, because they don't understand it. They don't want to understand it. And I just saw a video a few minutes ago of a woman talking about furries, and she's so scared to talk about the subject because she doesn't know what to expect. She fears the unknown.
And so yesterday I heard that at least one of our schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats. And I am really disturbed by that. And I will do some more investigation on that. I know it's going on nationwide. I know it is. It's part of the agenda that's being pushed. I don't even want to understand it. But I think that people need to be aware of it, because I am really upset as a parent that my child is put in an environment like that. And you know, I'm all for creativity and imagination, but when someone lives in a fantasy world and expects other people to go along with it, I have a problem with that. So I'm just putting that out there. I will investigate more.
And I even was thinking to myself, you're fearing something you don't understand. That's your biggest problem. You need to have an understanding of it. The more of an understanding you have of something, the better you will understand the situation. And you can go, okay, I can sympathize, or I can at least understand what's going on. Just because you understand it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. I think that's one of the biggest problems that we have in this day and age. The other part of it is that if, you know, there will be parents that will be fighting against this, saying, what's wrong with my child being a furry? And they're gonna stumble over their words. They're gonna say shit like, oh, well, it's a distraction. And all the kids are gonna be like, nobody cares. It's no different than, you know, Johnny over there playing D&D, or Cindy over there playing Pokemon. Nobody gives a fuck. The only people that care are the extremists. And none of the kids here are being extremists. They're doing their thing. Most of my friends, 99% of my friends, are adults. Those adults that are furries know that there is a line that you cannot cross, and that's it. Now, you will have, on the other hand, you will have the students who will be like, I'm a furry, ooh, I want to leave class, and they'll be like, okay, Johnny, fucking go to the principal's office, you know the drill. All right, because there will be kids that will buck the system just to leave. And this is what I honestly predict. If this goes in the direction I think it will, test scores are going to plummet. And the reason is because so many kids are going to purposely get kicked out of class. And so many kids will be kicked out of class because they're furries. And that being said, those schools are going to have bad test scores. And those kids are going to end up either dropping out or not finishing school in general, which is the same thing. But you get the point. They'll have very bad test grades and they won't be able to finish. There's a lot of different variables. There's probably like 4 or 5 different variables I could probably come up with, but you get the idea. So let's go ahead and talk about the next subject. To point something out, I want you to see how much just a fursuit head is, and then I'm going to try, and this will just be all for fursuit heads this next 10 minutes, and then the next 10 minutes of it will be showing you how much suits are, and then the pricing of it, and maybe even going into some other stuff. And I hate to say this may be an hour. We're going to get the calculator up. I'm going to try to grab everything that I can, and you'll see what I'm doing here in just a minute. So we're going to skip these because these are giggles. These are basically the equivalent of wigs with ears. I'm going to skip that. So here's this. So you get this, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 divided by 18. So 4 divided by 18. Let's do, well, you know what I meant. I keep saying that backwards. 18 divided by 4. No, that's not a division. Divided by 1800. Divided by 4. 450. All right. The next one is Luna. She's 400. It's literally just a head, which is convenient. Then you got another 850. On hold. Angel. Cardinal Angel. Wings of Welcome. $3,000. You got 1, 2, 3 things. So you got 3 divided by 3,000. No, wait. Is it 3,000? It's 3,000, but it's 3 things. So it's wings, paws, tails, and head. So that's wings, paws, tails, and head. No, 4, my bad. So 400, 3,000 divided by 4 is 750. Pre-made, dragon, fursuit. So you're looking at mini partial, which more than likely comes with 3 things, which would be comes with paws, tail, and head. So that's 500. 500 divided by 3 is 166. So we're just gonna say 100. We're gonna say 165. I'm trying to keep it a round number, okay? No, then you've got the possum fursuit. It's not. It looks like 1, 2, 3. It's got 3 pieces to it again for $2,000. 2,000 divided by 3 is 66. So we're gonna say 65. So it's partial mini fursuit with includes head, paws, and badge. Because it comes with 3 things, we're gonna do 3 divided by 180. Like 60 a piece. No. I'm gonna say the badges are free more than likely. So divided by 2, that's 90 a piece. No, we're not gonna anything with bases. I'm not gonna include again. Not the kiwi. I don't know why this is here. I should make these. I should see how hard those are. I'll look at that later. 238. It says fursuit head, half saber tooth, half sheep. Interesting mix. 238. I'm not including that tax. Let's just say 240. I'm just gonna give it a round number. I mean, mini partial fursuit head, paws, and tails. Head, paw, and tail. You're looking at 1230. 1230. I'm gonna say 1230. Screw it. 1236 divided by 3. 412. We're gonna say 410. This comes with what looks like partial 1, 2, 3. 3 divided by 800. 800 divided by 3. You're gonna say 265. Remember, this is only page 1 that I'm doing, by the way. Alright, so that's 150. I was double checking it, and it looks like it was everything. On hold school day. I think this is the same. Yeah, it is. So it comes with tail fursuit and fursuit badge. So that's 1 singular ball. That's weird. Yeah, I guess I can include it. 1, 2, 3 things. It looks like 3 divided by 210, I guess. Or 210 divided by 3. My bad. I keep saying that. 70. Yeah, that seems about right. Fursuit, mini, partial mouth moves, beast, fantasy. Okay, so it does come with a tail and paws. So 200 divided by 3. Look at another $65. Handmade partial fursuit, dragon fantasy. So it probably comes with, it comes with all 3 again. So you're looking at 32. Jesus, 3,200. 3,200 divided by 3 is $1,000 basic. We're just gonna say 1,000. I'm gonna say 1,065. But just for that is ridiculous. UV reaction, worm, fursuit on hold. It's that person again. No, it's different. UV worm on string. No, I'm not gonna include that. Plush fursuit jaw set teeth with gums tutorial. Oh, okay. Retro bat 99. I was gonna say 1,000. That's an unfinished. We're not gonna include that. Pre-made candy. Pre-made Candy Swirl inspired fursuit set. It's doesn't say that it's got that, but I guess those are the only two. Fursuit, so I'm guessing we're gonna divide by 3 again. We're looking at $5.90. Now I may go a little bit longer on this one just because I've got 3 minutes left. I don't know yet. 196, so we're gonna say 195. There we go, 106. Wait, let me go check. Yes, that is the 106 head. I saw this earlier. Let's say 105. Fursuit head, feet, and paws with Velcro tongue. So it's head, feet. I'm not going to include the tongue. So it's head, feet, and paws. 3 divided by 570. 570 divided by 3 is 190. Pre-made pink. Okay, so 448. We're going to say 450. Round up. So these are all the numbers that I've got. We're going to type them into the calculator and see how much everything is. You're looking at $59.75, which is about the roughness of what I got last time. I got almost $6,500 altogether. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Divided by 19, you're roughly, okay, that is so funny, it comes out to pi. But I would say that's probably about right. You're looking to, per fursuit head, I would say anywhere between 300 to 500. But I would also include, I would probably go as high as probably 400 to 500 per fursuit head. I'm trying to only do fursuit heads right now, but I do love 3.314. It's basically pi. Just in case if I have to redo all this, I'll have the numbers already up. That is how much all those costs. So let's go ahead and spend an extra 5 minutes real quick before I stop on this section, because I do want to talk about, we've already covered this. I want to go ahead and cover fursuits real quick and luxury fur and all that kind of stuff so you understand the differences. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the prices that you're gonna see, like the average price that a lot of these are. Professional grade fursuit, full suit start at $5,600. It says heads starting price is $2,165. This is from a professional called lemonbrat.com. Right? They do all of this. It looks phenomenal. They do amazing work. I wish I had this kind of talent. I wish I could sell these and that's all I did was just make these all day long. Alas, I don't make that kind of money. I don't make this kind of work, which would be, like I said, phenomenal. So, you're looking at, let's say you want a full bodysuit, like holy shit, you're looking at these thick, with 2 C's, hips, very wide hips and bum padding. What are you, English? So some of the things we can make, bodies with mini spots, strips, blah blah blah. Bodysuits, $1,900, $2,200, $2,300, $350, feminine bust. Oh, okay, so listen. Extensive spots and stripes. Alright, let's go to this one. Price listing, these are tail sizes, small, 75, medium, large, extra large. Yes, I do definitely agree with a lot of these prices, except no, that should not cost you $75. A small tail like this would be like $30. See, I would go, so this, to me, this is 30. This is 55 to 60, depending on how much. This is probably 90, and this is about 150 to 200. I would not charge this much. Standard head price is $29.50. Extra features, magnetic eyelids. When I get started, I will not be charging this much because this is absolutely fucking ridiculous for this much. There are not even full-blown Italian Armani suits this much. Yeah, see, an Armani suit, you can get them as cheap as $1,400. That should tell you that you are spending, that people are asking way too high of a price. And if you type in, who makes the most expensive suits? Top 10 most expensive brands of suits. Let's see. Stuart Hughes Diamond Edition. Jeez, it's actually got diamonds in it. US $778,290. Alexander Amasu Vanquish Bespoke Suit. US $90,000. And you know what? I bet that tie alone is probably fucking expensive as shit. Jesus, people are spending $95,000 on a fucking suit. Zoot suit, $78,000. 58,000, 50,000. What in the world? I guess that's just drawn outlines of where things would go. Yeah. $47,000, $43,000, $28,000, $22,000 to $28,000, and so forth. So you get the point. Top 10 most expensive shoes in the world. There is realistically no point in spending that kind of money. And when I make stuff, I look at how much is the fabric, and then I will usually add a couple dollars onto that to get that. But if you straight up buy me the fabric and you bring it to me, that's different. You are oftentimes, I always tell people, I will not charge you more than what the fabric is worth. If I can get it super cheap, I'll tell you I got it for super cheap. You can go to Joann's website right here. The coupons and weekly, you can usually see what coupons they have. Browse our weekly ad. Wait, my bad, not what I wanted. You can go onto here, like I said, go to coupons, you pull it up, and you almost always have a 50% off coupon, like always. 20% off your total pickup or curbside pickup when you buy online, pickup in store, get $5 off your next store purchase. $10 off your fabric purchase, $40 or more. You like almost, these are almost always here. And fuck, I don't know why this is here. This never exists. I've only seen one Joann's that actually has framing. 60 days of free classes on Creative Bug plus an additional 50% off. Use code JoannVIP to get your deal. Get offer. I might do that because if I could actually just take this class and they could help me make pants and a shirt, I can get started on suits almost ASAP. Enjoy 14 days of free creativity with the Qpixel app on, I don't know what that means. Free shipping on your orders at $49 plus. I like how it's like right at $49. It's gotta be $49 or more. As you see, that's how much those things cost. And yes, as you see, the Husky faux fur fabric right here, this is the biggest reason, is if you commission me to make you something, the commission price is going to also show how much it is just right here alone. Say for instance, you are trying, like, let's say for instance, you buy one of my tails. Let's say you get the golden retriever version, which is, you know, obviously golden, which is this one right here. Okay, didn't show mustard. Okay, you got this mustard looking color. I've got plenty of that in stock. Or this brown. I might have that brown. I don't know. You gonna show it? I might have this brown. I don't know. As you see, it's like $25 a yard, and oftentimes this is almost always is almost always 50% off. It's very rare you can get this on sale. Like, you can get it off sale, because if you get it off sale, as you saw a minute ago, you go here and you pick up a coupon. Let's say it's still 50% off. I will try my best to pick up every single coupon on this thing I can. 50% off, so that's already gonna drop it down. You're gonna do that. You almost always see a bunch of these. I can probably go to the app right now. It'll probably say like a bunch of different ones. Let's just see. I'm gonna go to Joann's on here. So I've got 50% off, 10% off of fabric, 40% off or more, $5 off your purchase of $35 or more, 10% off your purchase of $50 or more, 15% off a purchase of $75 or more. So yes, you get different coupons on both, but oftentimes you can get both of these, which is pretty fucking cool. This one almost never expires, so you're probably, it'll say exclusions. Anything that's on a BOGO or anything that's on sale already, you can't use it for, which is promo code IGLOO, which is really annoying in my opinion, but whatever. What are you going to do about it? To explain, you know, you got these different places that you can get faux fur from, and they're almost always the same price, and I wouldn't doubt you get this one and you get another version. I do have some I had to go fetch offline. This is probably, I think, where I got it, was this really nice blue. There it is, that's the one. This is it right here. My friend wanted me to make him a faux fur tail, and I just happen to have it. Actually, it's probably that one or that one, but Royal Blue Faux Shag Faux Fur 2-inch pile. Both of them are relatively the same thing, and they're really good regardless. Shag fur. They're all great for tails, all for that kind of stuff, which, as you see, it's about the same price anywhere you go when it comes to faux fur. And yes, when you get it in large quantities, of course you're gonna stack it. So that's just it. So the next part of this is very straightforward and simple. So many years ago, let me explain this. So many years ago, back in the 90s, my dad went from being, he did cable, then he did the C-band satellites, as you see right here, which I'm about to talk about, and then he also did Dish Network. So first of all, how big are one of these dishes? I already did it for you. It's 10 feet. But if you don't know what that means, it's about 3 meters. And if you don't go by meters, it's put the period literally right where the 8, or right before the 8, and you get 304.8 centimeters, which is fine, whatever. That's how big they are if you didn't understand. Back in the 90s, like I said, my dad did this. He couldn't sell them. He was selling them, if I remember right, he said for about $800. He said no matter what he did, he couldn't sell them. So what did he do? He turns to my grandfather, who has had, who's taken control of like a Walgreens once before, and he fixed up, you know, a bunch of buggies, and he did that. And he turned around and opened his own business where they would buy out like whatever's left in the store afterwards. He would buy them. Like he'd buy the shelves and all the units and stuff, like all of that stuff, and he would buy them out. And he'd give them a set price, and they would just take it. What happened is that he goes to my granddad and he goes, "Dad, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't sell my dishes. I can't make them happen." My grandfather says, "How much are you selling them for?" He says, $800. He says, "There's your problem. You're selling them too cheap." He says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, the cheaper the product is, the more likely people are not going to buy it. The more expensive the product is, the more likely someone is going to buy it because they think that if it's expensive, that it's going to be higher quality." Now, granted, I know that a lot of you know that's not always the case. That's full of shit. Just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's good. As you just saw, just because somebody wants to spend $3,200 on a fursuit doesn't make that it's amazing. It just means that that's the price people are willing to pay. My dad has pointed that out before with me selling Pokemon cards and all this other stuff. And my grandfather tells him, you know, up to $1,000. So my dad does. And guess what? Within the next couple of months, he starts making money from it. He starts selling them. He goes, "I don't know how that works. I don't understand it, but okay." And my grandfather explained again, it's because the more, if you get something that's a good price, that looks good, you get it too low, no one will buy it. You get it too high, no one will buy it. But if you get a good middle ground, that's what you want to look at. So if I were to go in and make fursuit tails, I've seen the average price of a fursuit tail like I make, my little furry tails. I've seen them anywhere between $20 all the way to $500. And the problem is trying to price that out. I would probably be having people buy them for about $400, and I'm not going to make somebody spend that kind of money. But on the other hand, if I can average out the price, let's say the average price of my tails would be $200, and somebody wants to buy that, I'll say that's fine by me. You want to spend $200? You can pay me that. I'm not going to say no, because $200 is definitely a good chunk of change that I can use for other stuff, and the sooner I get my car fixed, woohoo! You've got things that are overly expensive for no reason, as you've seen before, and that's something that just doesn't make any sense to me, and personally, I don't think things should be that expensive. And this goes with the whole idea of, who are Louis Vuitton top customers? They say Louis Vuitton has a distinct life stage in which its fashionable and high-quality clothing and accessories are worn by the wealthy and elite. Louis Vuitton's major target market is for wealthy people with a 5-digit salary after required expenses have been paid and a home has been purchased. I don't know what that fucking means. Who buys Louis Vuitton? You can sell your item, blah, 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 nobody cares. So basically, in other words, they don't want just anybody having their product, which is why it's set to the price that it is. They want people that have money, who go to fashion shows, who do all of the fashionable shit. That's what they want. They don't want just anybody carrying that. Just like I don't want just anybody in my Discord. I want furries, and I want people who want a safe space, which is why I don't just tell anybody. I let people know, I've got a safe space that you can come to, but I'm not going to advertise it. I call it the closed door policy. It's closed, but you are allowed in. It's an unlocked closed door policy. It's like you're not just invited to go to Walmart. You can go to Walmart. They're not going to say, "Hey, come up." It's like that mom and pop shop that has never advertised a day in their life. Who was it that they said they've never advertised, but you know who they are? It's one of those. You know, you don't have to advertise. We know who you are. We know what you do, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. That's what I do. Louis Vuitton advertises enough, but you don't see it in those big marketplaces. And if you look up, you look at their product page and you see everything here. This screams it was made in WordPress. That's what's funny. Look how much. All I gotta do is, that is an obnoxious dress. I cannot see anybody taking that dress seriously. I'm gonna show you the price of this bag in a minute and you're gonna practically shit yourself. $2,800, $485, $865 for a pair of slippers. Exclusively online, LV, what is that? Initials, 40 millimeters reversible belt. $7,000 for a Demir leather Harrington jacket. Or, just this by itself, the key holder is $745. Or, hey, why don't you spend the same amount of money on the Demir leather pants? $7,400. Like, holy shit. Well, they probably expect you to buy this and this together, which is probably why they're so expensive. They probably know you're gonna want to spend almost $1,500 together. Like, what even? I cannot see any respectable individual. I can't see them wearing any of this stuff because who has that kind of money? Just, you know what? I'm gonna go spend. You know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go spend $7,400 on a fucking jacket. Oh, you know what? No, my bad. I'm gonna spend $4,400. Oh, and on top of that, I'm gonna go spend another $12,000 on a fucking handbag. What in the living fuck? Dude, I wish that is a down payment on a car. I don't care. Like, I think it's ridiculous. This can buy a full Armani suit. This can buy a small amount of an Armani suit. This can buy a really good Vespa. At least this is a little bit. Those are cheaper at least. Why is this $565? Why? It's a fucking beanie and they have upped the price about 5,000%. It doesn't need to be that much. Okay, probably 500% literally. A pair of shoes is $1,800? Holy shit! I would never spend money. You will never, and I mean never, catch me buy anything by Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is overpriced. Look at this. This is a denim jacket. Look at this. I could literally, if I knew how to make jackets, I could recreate that jacket, probably look for the same pattern, same type. I could probably find the same quality. You know what? I could sell it for $300 easily. Denim pants. I mean, why would you spend $1,800 on that? Like, holy shit. They want $765 on a pop cap, just a basic hat. What? Is that a dude or is that a chick? I honestly am not sure because he's wearing a dress or a kilt. I don't know. Silk and wool Damium shorts. That is not a short. That's a dress. That's a skirt. 7,000. Jesus. How do they? I honestly want to know. How do they make money? How does Louis Vuitton make money? Fashion and leather goods, basically clothing and bags, make up almost half of Louis Vuitton's revenue, with Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior, I don't know how to say that, continuing to be the company's most popular brands. Okay, that's where Louis Vuitton makes money. Even then, why would you spend that kind of money? Let me see. Why would you buy? This will be the last thing I'm going to do, and then I'm going to start. I'm trying to. Is famous for its craftsmanship and excellent quality. Each bag is made of top quality material and undergoes strict production process. This means you can have a durable fashion item that will stand the test of time. I respect that. I want you to see the price of a good, sturdy leather handbag. You see this? Here's a really good one right here. $50, $45 right there. The only reason you would buy Louis Vuitton, and I'm gonna tell you right now, is the easiest essential reason. You want it because it has a label on it. You want it for its name. Yeah, would I like it if at some point I get to a point where I'm getting orders weekly and I'm shipping out And people go, oh yeah, I own some Toon Wolf Industries stuff. Like if at some point I can start printing t-shirts and it has just my logo, like I could do, I get a bunch of black collared shirts and I just put the logo right on the left-hand side. Just imagine that. Left-hand side, that I could make reverse shirts to fuck with people and have reverse pockets. Instead of the breast pocket being on one side, I put it on the right side just to mess with people. And I would have everything reversed. And they'd be like, why? I'd be like, well, I'm left-handed, and I wanted left-handed stuff. And I would call it the left-handed collection, you know? That's the biggest thing that I want people to think about when they're going out of their way and they're buying something. Are you buying it for the price, or are you buying it for the logo? I would love to have my my logo out there. And people go, I'm buying it because of Tarrabyte. I'm buying it because of Toon Wolf Industries. That is the reason I'm buying it. The reason I bring all that up is a very simple reason, is because as you see how much this stuff is, how much these suits are, I want people to understand that there's not just any kids going out of their way to be like, I want to do this, and this is how much I'm going to spend. No kid in their right mind is this. No kid, not in their right mind, but no adult is going to give their child nearly $4,000 for a fursuit. That's not going to happen. I did talk to one of my friends a little bit ago about this, and I asked her, I said, your kid, let's say they are around 16, comes to you and says, Mom, will you buy me a fursuit? What would you say? She says, depends on my financial situation, most definitely. I'd get them a partial with a money limit. I said, $3K, she never got back to me. She's probably dead ass asleep. I actually have no idea. No child in their right mind is going to do that. And I want to point out that yes, you're going to keep running into furries and there's nothing you can do about it. If you don't like it, move on. It's funny because like 15 years ago, right? When I was in high school at the time, I was 17, or even let's say about 16, no, it's about 17 years ago. You look at it then. Furries were a thing, but they weren't like they are today. And what I think is so funny that if you compare the time of what it is, what makes up a good portion of all of this is that I think what people want is a reason to be offended. And I was looking up, if you look up about Gen Z, right? Let me type something in real quick. Let's see, what does Gen Z struggle with the most? From issues like discrimination and human rights to personal safety and violence, it's stressful to younger Americans, but like their older counterpart, health and finance, blah blah blah. 3 out of 4 managers find Gen Z to be the most challenging to work with. Stacy Holler, chief career advisor at Resume Builder, suggests that the challenges managers face with generations may be attributed more by their company's lack of preparedness. No, I can tell you that why Gen Z has so much anxiety. Grappling the uncertainty, the core of Gen Z's worries about comes down to uncertainty, experts told me. The natural uneasiness that comes with starting a new chapter of life was compounded by the shift to remote work and the chaos of a new work paradigm. A good portion of it is that there are a lot more furries probably in this decade than any other decade, mostly because of the pandemic that we had with COVID-19 and a lot of other stuff, where a lot of us were stranded at home and a lot of people were working from home. They had done school from home, and this is really the first time a lot of kids had to get into Zoom calls with their class, and they were in their bedroom, probably being checked in on by their parents once in a while. They probably didn't know what to do about it. What a lot of it comes down to is that they became so self-conscious because they weren't around their kids, they weren't around their friends that are kids, and they weren't able to be in social situations. So I do believe to some extent bullying does have a key in helping people, and I don't mean hardcore bullying. I mean like joking around and telling you when certain things are appropriate, when certain things aren't appropriate. And I do believe that to some extent, I'm not saying you should go up and just like straight up shove a kid in a locker or, hold a kid under your arm and give him a nookie kind of thing. I mean like, kids pick at each other. And that's something that kids need to understand, because as you get older, you need to know what is okay to say and what not okay to say. And you have these people growing up who are going to be so overly sensitive that they're going to seclude themselves into things like Dungeons and Dragons and being a furry and being into card games. And they're going to be so like into that to the point that you're going to be like, do you even know how to socialize? And I'm not saying those things are a bad thing. I'm just saying they're going to delve so deep into them that they're borderline going to be considered autistic, when in reality they lack social skills, because we aren't teaching them how to socialize anymore. Because how do you socialize with nothing? And that's why you see in so many discords there'll be teenagers that pop in and they'll be saying weird ass shit. They don't read and they don't listen, so on and so forth. And that's the thing that I think that a lot of people are struggling with in the long run. Especially when you read something like this, you go over here and you read about this guy right here. You would think this guy wouldn't give a shit about furries. You would think, oh, it's just another thing. But realistically, you want to ask him, why are you against it? Of all things, it doesn't make any sense. It just sounds like he's, honestly, in my opinion, it sounds like he's trying to start a fight for the sake of starting a fight. You know, that's realistically what it sounds like to me, because to me it's so confusing why he doesn't like furries. I don't know if he doesn't like furries or if he's just trying to, you know, fix the system. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with this guy and be like, why are you against it so bad? Are you against furries, or do you just want to try to control the situation? What is it about the furries you don't like? And he'll probably come up with an answer something similar to, if you're a human being, you're a human being. If you're a dog, you're a dog. There's no in the middle. He would be one of those people that's a straightforward answer. He doesn't believe that there's a gray area in anything. You know, I bet you he'd be one of those guys, be like, well, I believe that if you're white, you should stay with white people. If you're black, you should stay with black people. You should not be mixing black and white, because when you do that, then you're causing a disorder, and you're causing this, and this. You either identify as black, you identify as white. But if you're white, you're white. You're black, you're black. I don't understand why people want to do that to themselves. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'd be like, well, it's not supposed to make sense to you. Not everything is meant for you to understand, and that's okay. And sometimes you just gotta look at it and go, well, you know what? It's not the end of the world. I get it, but you're not supposed to understand every little thing. You're not supposed to get why things are the way they are. Sometimes you just need to go and accept things that if it's not harmful and it's not hurting anybody, then keep it like that. Because sometimes, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, if you don't understand why children love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, then there you go. You don't understand. Get over it. You know, there are people who will get mad if you put mustard or ketchup on a hot dog. There are people I've seen get physically angry at others for putting on eggs and ketchup on steak. I actually remember one time when I was working and I was delivering somebody's food to a table, and I was giving him his eggs, and I immediately saw him put eggs on it. They were talking, I was like, what do you think should go on eggs? I'm like, salt and pepper, maybe like 1 or 2 other condiments. And he said, what about ketchup? I'm like, get out. And his friends were like, see, we told you ketchup does not belong on eggs. And I'm like, thank you. Get out. They started joking. I'm like, you think I'm serious? You think I'm joking? I'm serious. Get out. I'm joking, of course. Like I said at the very beginning of all this, I think essentially what is probably going to happen in the long run is that this bill will get overturned. A lot of parents are going to get pissed off. They will more than likely have an uproar. And I really do believe that test scores will plummet if this succeeds, because a lot of kids will purposely go out of their way to get kicked out of class, and they'll be like, I just don't understand why this is happening. You don't understand. You really don't get it. Granted, I do believe at some point in life we all go from, I do believe that we will, at some point as we get older, we look at the situation, we go, I don't want to understand anymore. It makes me angry just thinking about it. We will get to that point in our life. Everybody does. Because I remember when my dad, like, I want to say 10 years ago, I could talk to my dad about almost anything. And he would listen. I remember it was about, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, I had my dad's laptop. I installed Dex mode on it because he's also, at the time he had like, I think an S20. I was like, you got to see this, really cool. Plug your phone in. Bam, look at that. It automatically starts because I set it to automatically start. And he plugs his phone in to charge it while he's on his laptop, and and it pops up, and he's like, he calls me up, oh my god, I can't believe this, you gave me a virus, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Dad, stop. Ask yourself this. Why would I put a virus on your computer? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard you accuse me of. Why would I do that to you? And on top of that, why are you yelling at me? Stop. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, blah, 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 I'm just so angry. And I'm like, Dad, I put it on there for ease of use. And he goes, well, I didn't ask for it. And I'm like, Dad, you are an old man who somehow have become technologically stupid in the last 10 years. And my dad even got, my dad got scammed out of his Nintendo Switch, and he's never getting that thing back. And I explained to my dad, what he doesn't understand is that he somehow, he's got this really nice laptop. It's got a 2070 in it. No, I think it's a 2070 or a 2600 GTX, I believe. I said, Dad, you've got this amazing laptop, but you won't do anything with it. You won't play any games. You won't do anything. All you do is look at Twitter, you check your emails, and you get on Facebook. You might as well go get yourself a Google Chromebook at this point and give me the laptop. I'd use it at least. He's like, well, maybe if I want to play some games. I'm like, Dad, the last time I saw you play any games was Far Cry. Don't even tell me that you play video games. I don't know why you bought this at this point. It's a waste of money for you. You might as well, go get yourself a Chromebook, get everything off of this, wipe it, and sell it. And I'm just saying, because I hate when people get things that they don't know anything about. I said, Dad, you have gotten to this point to where you are so afraid of technology, you get so angry at just the tiniest little things, and I don't understand why. My mom does the exact same thing. It's like when you become over the age of 55 to 70, you just get angry at the world, and it's like, I don't want it. It's like, why are you so angry? I don't get it. Could be anything, I don't know, and I hope I never become that person, because if I become that person, I'm gonna be mad at myself, because I want to continue a world where I keep seeing technology grow, and I just keep going, I want to see more of this, this, and this. The only person I feel like I could ever talk to about that, even up till now, is my uncle, and I hope I stay this way. It has been 56 minutes on my end. I have spent almost 2.5 hours trying to record this. As you see, it's 3:57 on my end. Again, go to my Etsy. If there's something on my Etsy that you like, by all means, check it out. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Come back for more of my content anytime you want. What do you think of this bill? What do you think of all this? I'm sorry that I wasted over 55 minutes of your time. I don't know how much this is going to get down to, but I hope it's enough to where it's like, it's watchable. Thanks for watching. Later.